Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Myth. When last we left off, well, a lot of stuff happened. There was a lot of plot, but I think the most important thing that I'll mention would be Meito finding out about what happened to his past self and deciding to reject that. So since this is probably going to be a much shorter episode for reasons, let's just get right back into it, shall we? Let's go. Kiki-san said that to me. A bunch of things had been decided before I even realized it. I'm really dumb, obviously, but I was able to pick up on what they were thinking. They were trying to return me to Asgard. Okay. So I nodded. And just as I did that, I realized that Kiki-san had her hand on my head. I heard her muttering something. I didn't really get it, but I felt pressured to close my eyes. I opened my eyes real quick. I saw Ryoko-san's face for a moment, and then everything turned white. Myth, Day 17, Inconsistencies between experiences and memories. Morning felt awful. My knuckles were swollen and my throat was completely dry. I was in pain. I hadn't slept enough and my head was throbbing as well, given where I slept. I had no reason at all to act, and that's why morning felt so awful. I was still going to do something, though. Excuse me, I'll have this. I wandered around the city as I ate my breakfast. With no plot or reality to guide me, with an absolute lack of direction, I could feel my very unreal life being whittled away. A number of young couples with children were in high spirits near the water fountain. It was a peaceful afternoon. I wanted something to do. I wanted to find something and then do it. I had to do as much. Hi, my name is something. No, I'm kidding. It's always a bad joke. But I had no choice but to wait in this world without any hints or developments. I just had to wait for some sort of change. I had to inspire myself to never give up. I wanted to lie down in my bed back home, since sleeping in that alley made my neck all stiff. I just wanted to relax. Was there any text there? I don't think there was. No, there wasn't. Okay. Development. There had to be some kind of development here. A reason. This was the road back to my station from the Shinjuku one. It was the other side of the stopping point. I had no reason to be here. I had no connection with this place. Despite that, I felt a sense of nostalgia and unease. I walked through that unfamiliar scenery. A crossing. There was a railroad crossing in the middle of the residential district. Right, I remember. There was a crossing near my house. I had completely forgotten. Or at least as much as I could tell. A slim chance. Hey. Was that the chance of me being able to remember? To regain my own memories? Hey. Something unique to me that the Meito Tanabe in the story couldn't do. I looked through my notes. I wanted to see if there was something written in there. Something about my past. No. My parents, my mama and papa, they hold the key to my memories. My mama spoke of Ragnarok. And to unravel something. Unravel. Do not fail to unravel it. Unravel what? I tried to think as hard as I could. I had to come up with something. I had to remember something. Listen, Mato. More. Listen to what your mama and papa. More. Are about to tell you. Guide me. Sure. Only I can change your future. Uh-huh. Myth. Otherworld. Let's see. To love, death, understanding. We're gonna play after I finish recording, I promise. Yes, I know I'm recording a bit longer than usual. It's okay. I lived in a big house, together with my mama, who I loved. Our house was gray. I could see a large garden outside of the window. I gazed at that garden. We called it the Garden of Mysteries. This was our home, and no one should be in that garden besides us. But sometimes people would come to play. Sometimes kids would come too. Sometimes adults and kids. They all came from the west and headed for the east. I couldn't make out any of their expressions from the window. Hey. Mama always showed up without making a sound. It always startled me. Hey, Mama, what are the people in the garden doing? I tried asking her that. She laughed as she said, visiting a grave. Visiting a grave? Why? Did someone die? Did someone important die and they were all going to bury them? I asked Mama that, but she just sighed. No one's died yet. Then why are they visiting a grave? Berserker. Yeah? Mama called out to me. The look in her eyes was sharp, so I couldn't help but avert my gaze. They've all been eaten. Eaten? That's right. People's dreams, people's bodies. They've eaten plenty of people. Someone who's eaten a lot of people. I didn't know what Mama was talking about, but I was really curious. Do you want to know? Huh? Do you want to know who that person is? Yeah. Mama first said, I see. Then she said, keep watching that garden. You'll be able to see who it is then. Don't miss it this time. I did what she told me to and kept watching the garden. And suddenly, I heard her voice from somewhere. I turned around, but Mama's voice wasn't there. I placed my hand on my stomach, and I heard Mama's rumbling. Myth, Day 18, the ends of my memory. My parents called me to that railroad crossing. You're 18 now. Enough with that. Tell me what you want. My parents were both bizarre. You're already an adult. They'd never... Are you telling me to get out? Made sense. No. It was always a hassle. We want to know what you intend to do. Intend to do? Will you enter the faith? I hated them. The source of their madness. A shady religious organization. One that didn't revere or celebrate anything in particular. And my parents had no idea what they revered or what their goal even was. We were old enough to make the right choice. How did I respond? No, that wasn't it. Alright, that wasn't it either. Silence. Why didn't I answer right away? I know you don't think highly of Hoenkyo. Then why are you asking me? Because you're my son. And we're your parents. This will continue to be our faith regardless of what you think. And I will continue to believe that you'll find happiness. It's our feelings for you, Meito. You might not think highly of our religion, but we still want you to be happy no matter what you think. Why couldn't I just refuse? Even if you refuse and distance yourself from us, we still won't consider it a negative. Because this experience will lead us to understanding each other better. Am I wrong? You won't complain if you distance yourself. Things will just go back to how they were before. Refuse. Refuse. Love, compromise, desires, guarantees. Those words surfaced in my mind. Meito. I never had love. I never shared feelings with my parents. Never felt a connection, a bond, a chance to understand one another. And to be able to go back, feel at ease, lack of negatives, possibilities, shallow logic. All of those things gave inertia to my thoughts and muddied them. All right. The right choice. I'll join if that's, without even thinking, all you want. I made that choice myself. I'm so happy, Meito. Thanks for being so understanding. Black blood was before me, and a young man was lying there in it. That man looked a lot like me. Got it, Meito? Yeah. He nodded as he lay in that black liquid. Mama and Papa will return. The woman who called herself Mama seemed sad. Will return once you unravel it. But at the same time, it almost seemed like what she was saying had nothing to do with her. It won't be hard. Yeah. Take care. As she gazed at the boy in that black puddle. Don't fail to unravel it. Yeah. Bye then. Hey, Mama. Papa. Meito Tanabe spoke up. What is it? What if I can't unravel it? He asked me what would happen if I couldn't unravel whatever that was. What will happen? Then Ragnarok. Papa? Mama? Papa? Mama? They really left. I hate this. Ow, just hit bumped my desk. Hopefully that wasn't very loud. I can't unravel it. I can't do this alone. Alone. Coming here. Why did I come here? I couldn't find a reason for that. Why would I go to my apartment in that story? I can't do it. My mother and Meito, my father, Meito Tanabe, muttered that upon hearing me scream. They saw what happened to me and knit their brows. as though they just learned of someone's death and wore an expression of their faces befitting of grief. Stop. I reacted to that voice and turned around. I noticed someone with pink hair that I recognized. Valkyrie? There's no point in imagining anything else. You don't have to think anymore. She declared as much. But I have to remember, otherwise, that's not for you to do. Huh? That's what it seems like, at least. Yuri, only he can stop Odin's plan. Meito-kun, wait for the other half of reality to form. Kiki, Ryoko, you fulfilled your role. My role? All that's left is to wait. Her pink hair swayed about. Wait for someone to notice. Myth. Otherworld. Myth. Day 19. Answer. Valkyrie. What did you do to me? I had no idea. I couldn't figure out why my parents wore that look on their faces as they gazed at myself in those fragmented memories. What was with those memories? They made no sense. Indeed, they weren't supposed to. Uh-huh. She readily answered me. Koichi and Kyoko Tanabe, they were both just characters in myth. They aren't your parents. How can that be? Then who are my parents? What about my friends, my school, my lover? Was all of that just fake? All you've done is toy with my memories as you've pleased. I pressed her, manipulating them however you pleased, leaning back and watching from a distant place. That wasn't what you promised. You said you'd help me return to the real world. And yet, you're saying that my parents were fake? I spit out my thoughts. Send me back. Yes, hi Morgana. Kitten. I grabbed her by the neck. Send me back. I've had enough of this fake reality. I want to live. I want to know the truth. I was so upset I couldn't even think straight. Please, send me back to the real world. My grip began to loosen the more I screamed, though, and Valkyrie easily shook my hand off before long. I said this before, and muttered, You did your best. That's why you've obtained it. Obtained it? By the Einherjar Kiki's power. And through your own actions, you managed to create a new future. Huh? You've succeeded. Has some chance of that path forming happened? Valkyrie wore a dreary look on her face before sitting down on the side of the road. You're being manipulated. She suddenly spoke up as I gazed at the road. What do you mean? Your very existence, from its beginning until the present. You've always been in between two different things. Between Miss-Significance and Odin's desires. Miss-Significance? Odin's desires? Metal Gear. You were born to destroy myth. Destroy myth? That's right. All of your actions? No, that's wrong now. Valkyrie, if what you say is true, then I'll be returned to the real world after this. Then tell me, please, Tell me already. What is myth's significance? What are Odin's desires? What am I? Please, answer. Character Odin created. Nananai from beginning to the end. She never cast her gaze away from the sky. It was almost like she was waiting for something. As she gazed so intently at the sky, and before long, I was too. The one human above the sky, he, too, has put up his own resistance throughout this tale. The sky was colored orange, searching for his own meaning. No answers appeared, or so I thought. Far up in the sky, deep in the dark clouds, in a place I couldn't see very well, shone a faint light. Myth, otherworld. What is this? Aha. Huh. Huh? Huh? Myth, day 20. My memories after that. And here I said this was going to be a shorter episode. What, am I, an idiot? Yes. Tea is still real good. Real good. I like tea. Like herbal tea, fruity teas, regular teas. Even have some Earl Grey moonlight coming in. It's real nice. I hope, anyway. It sounds really nice. Movement. I know, you're an annoyed kitten, because I'm not playing with you, and it's way past time. It was like a meteor shower. All of my memories, ones I had never even seen before, all appeared in the sky and flew by. Is it, Clouds Roll By, or what, Clouds Roll, fuck, I don't remember the lyrics. Pull Me Down by Dream Theater. Angels Fly, fuck, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've heard that song. And just when I thought the shower of memories had ended, I saw him looking at me, gazing at me and Valkyrie from his home, completely confused. He seemed just as isolated and listless as I was at that very moment. Meto? Tanabe? He muttered. I see Meto Tanabe. It was like he was delirious, like he'd given up on everything. I questioned him. I didn't know who he was, but why are you up there? Yes, you're not getting away. Yes, you're very cute, rolling around on the edge of my bed, trying to get my attention. Why? It was a strange question. No one had ever asked me that before. Why was I here? But the reason was, I was searching for love. That. Love? Meto Tanabe wore a strange expression on his face. He must have not understood, so I continued. Yes, love. I loved her, and she told me to come here, so I did. Her? Odin. Meto Tanabe's face twitched upon hearing that. That reaction only lasted for a moment, though. Open your eyes. I told him that. Open my eyes? Yeah, he had no idea what I meant by that, though. He was absolutely clueless about everything, even himself. Just relax and look around. So I said that to him. He should be able to see many things he hadn't before by doing so. And he did just as I said. I stood up and began to look around. I heard Meto Tanabe say, "You want Odin to love you, right?" I don't think that there's anyone else there. I swept my gaze across the world. What? Huh? He finally seemed to notice. He noticed where he was. Hey, I'm trying to drink my tea. And recalled what once was. A gray world, but one far more real than that world he was in now. Do you see it? Do you see reality? I had to explain that to him for not realizing it until now. Up in the sky was a wasteland. A world where no signs of life existed. Some vegetation was present, but that was about it. All I could hear were the sounds of an elderly person breathing. Meto Tanabe? Valkyrie muttered my name. How do you feel? Real world. 2052 AD. My body grew light. Myth was rejecting my body. I must have... Are you afraid to go back to that world? To the year 2052, where all humanity is now extinct? That's what you wished for. She called my and his name. Meto Tanabe. After a moment of silence, by creating these clear memories of the year 2002, you've given birth to a new choice in this fragile, half-real world. Creating? Me? Half-real? You will disappear, but you'll no longer commit suicide by hanging yourself from that tree. If you look back on the past, the reality you sketch will change. Your actions weren't in vain. Those tears you shed, haven't gone to waste. Remember the rest. And I think this is where I'm going to end off this episode. I was planning on doing it a little bit earlier, but I kind of got caught up with it. Or caught up into it, rather. I'm going to say 2 more episodes, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how long I make them. We're getting very close to the end. I like this visual novel quite a lot, and that was a big pop. So I popped my knuckles immediately directly under the microphone, like an idiot. That was a big bit of information there. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that other than that was a lot. And not even like amount. There wasn't that much there amount-wise. It's just the things that were there were very heavy. And, well, I hope to see you all next time.